This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to show you how to take something and improve on it. What we're going to do is going to show you how to make a portable phone for under $40. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Here's what you're going to need. A wall-mounted phone, an old backpack, a garden hose spool, and a bunch of telephone cable. Now, if you want to go get that stuff, I'll just wait. All right, now, the first step is to remove the canvas from the backpack. If you're careful how you do this, you can end up with enough canvas to make yourself a dandy little sun hat. All right, as you can see, I'm just putting the finishing touches on attaching the garden hose reel to the backpack using the Handyman secret weapon, duct tape. Now what we do is take our telephone wire and begin winding it onto the hose reel. Now, the amount of wire you put on here will be determined by how portable you want the phone to be. If it's just for around the house, 50 feet it'd probably do. 20 feet if you live in a new subdivision. Or if you want to run to the whole neighborhood, I'd suggest you put on a couple of 100 feet. As you can see, I'm just finishing attaching the phone to my body with the duct tape, and we're done. No more running to the phone, because with this rig on, believe me, you don't want to be running. I'll get it. Hello, could you just hang on a minute, please? Yeah. This sounds like an important call, so until next time, remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was me. I ordered the 8 slicer with the double pepperoni. Yeah, I'm on my way over to get it right now. How's my voice sound? I made this phone. Yeah, made it myself. No, I'm not kidding. Hello, 911. Could you send an ambulance? Just follow the wire. We'll be right back with more wildlife adventures amongst the furry beasts of the woods.
I think he's back to the story about Moose Thompson being a new dancer.
This week in the Handyman Corner, we're going to show you some imaginative and some creative and even to a certain sense thoughtful things you can do with a garage door opener. Now, a garage door opener is a handy piece of equipment, but the thing that it does worst is open garage doors. But rather than just take it and throw it in the lake, what you should do is use your imagination and think of some other applications of the garage door opener. For example, here I've hooked up the garage door opener to the door of the, I guess that's a stove really is what it is. And just imagine now that I'm sitting in my living room watching a football game on television, and I've got something in the oven, so to speak, maybe a turkey or a roast beef or a raccoon or something, and I want to check on the dinner, but I don't want to miss the game. With the garage door opener, I can just stay back, and I've got the binoculars to kind of check on how the dinner's going. So I'll just show you how it works. I just hit this like this, and well, I wonder how the dinner's doing. No, it's not ready yet. No, all I got to do then is just turn the unit off. Just turn this unit off. Maybe it is dinner time. I'm getting hungry. And high on the old feedback, I guess. How many of you have dreamed about having your own personal elevator right inside your home? You can do it just like I've done here. I mounted the garage door opener with the chain going up through a pulley situation, and then it hooks onto a rope and comes down to my basket cage or elevator enclosure, whatever you want to call that. So when I want to go up to, say, the second floor, do whatever it is that I do on the second floor, all I have to do is just aim the garage door opener, the button, and I start all right, well, obviously I have to bolt the opener to the floor because I guess I weigh, well, of course I weigh more than, well, I'm sure that you all get the idea anyway. It can work, and a lot of other ideas. You're only limited by your own imagination. So until next time, remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Because I want to tell you what Stinky Peterson did to old man Sedgwick.
It's the same thing that Uncle Red Stories do to this show.
This week in Handyman Corner, we're going to do a little bit of concentrating on safety. You've all heard the expression, safety first. Well, actually, at the lodge, it's more like safety forced. But you know, with the decay of moral values in society, the members all feel they now have something to live for. So there's a whole new focus there on the idea of safety. And this gave me an idea. You know, the new cars now have these airbags that are in front of you there, and no, I'm not talking about like the little bags they have in front of you on the airplane. But I was thinking, what if you had a personal airbag, something you could wear on your body at all times for any kind of a front-end collision or whatever? And so I thought I might design one of those, and of course the first thing you're going to need is an undershirt. An undershirt is usually just holding your own stomach, but this time it's going to be having something of value. So you want to seal her off real good. You go across the bottom with some staples. You might want to make 2 or 3 rows of staples on there. And then once you've got the staples all in place, you want to just cover that up with the Handyman secret weapon duct tape. This is just a safety precaution, really, to cover up the staples, because any of you who've ever been to the outhouse with a magazine know the damage the staples can do. I'll finish that off later. What I want to show you right now is the most important part of the airbag, which is the airbag. Nothing runs like a deer, does it? This may look to you like a lawn bag, but this is going to save your life. What you do is open up your shirt, or open up your blouse, or, well, let's just stick with the shirt for now. And you want to pack the bag in there, just like packing a parachute. Or there was a movie one time where I think they said, are you packing a parachute, or are you just glad to see me? Luckily, it was just a parachute. All right, once that's in place, you need something that's going to fill the bag up, something to inflate the bag. And when you think about safety, what do you think of? Fire extinguisher. Dump in there and fill that thing up in 2 seconds flat. Now make sure you get the CO2 kind. Otherwise you'll be picking fire retardant out of your shorts for the next 24 years. Kind of natural and unobtrusive looking, isn't it? And the beauty of it is I could just be walking down the street, and if anything should start coming towards me of a full frontal nature, perhaps a speeding truck or what have you, I just reach calmly up over my back, quickly, but calmly up over my back, and pull the safety pin, and just release my personal airbag. It's that simple. So remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. I'm freezing and I've blown my bag. Well, everybody painting their car up at the lodge this week. I thought I'd take Handyman Corner and show you how you can prevent your car from aging, weathering, rusting, and generally looking filthy all the time by showing you how to build a self-contained automatic power washer that'll keep your car continuously clean. All right, now the first thing you're going to need to make this unit are some sprinklers. I would recommend you use sprinklers, and you know you can get sprinklers pretty cheap from your neighbor's lawn while they're in bed. Now what you want to do is to mount these various sprinklers right onto the vehicle. You can use rivets for that, or you can weld them on there. Or if you work for the government, you probably have time to sit and magnetize them. But I'm going to use the Handyman secret weapon, duct tape. Now you're gonna need a source of water, one that moves along with the car because this is a mobile wash, isn't it? And you know, we have a source just like that right here. The water pump and radiator. Now, if we could just think of a way to tap into them. There we go. All right, let's give our mobile car wash a try. All right, see, okay. We don't have an unlimited supply of water here. You didn't think of that, did you? You know? So what we have to do is we have to, of course, recycle the water in the system by recycling it. And here's what you have to do to solve that one. You got to measure the exact perimeter of the whole car, and then you get exactly that same length in eavesdropping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Perfect. Real glad I didn't use rivets or bolts when I put this up last year. Now we'll get this down and we'll hook this all up to the car, right around the whole outside of her, using rivets or bolts, or, that's right, nothing lasts forever except an Italian wedding. Now, this might take me a while to get her all down and hooked up, so why don't we get back to the show and I'll come and find you when I got her all done. You know, with Buster Hatfield being robbed and all, I thought I would take this week's Handyman Corner and show you how you can make your very own home security system using common household appliances. I'm guessing you probably don't have infrared motion sensor and a silent alarm sitting there in your sock drawer, but I bet a bunch of you have, say, a toaster and possibly even one of these dartboard units. And you can combine these things to make a foot-activated anti-theft pain device. Burger steps on this. He's toast. The only problem is Bernice and I are such heavy sleepers that a burger is going to have to come actually right up into the bedroom and take our pillowcases or our pajamas or our sheets or some of those devices that Bernice keeps in the end table before we'll ever notice that he's there. So I'm going to show you how to make an anti-theft alarm device that will be triggered anytime a burglar or Jimmy's open a door or even a window. But to do that, you're going to need some of the larger household appliances. A stove, a fridge, and a television set. All right, first of all, from the stove, we need this. The buzzer from the cake timer. Now, that's not loud enough yet to scare a burglar, but it will be once we hook it up to the speaker from the television set. And from the refrigerator, we need this. The pressure-sensitive light switch that activates the light. All right, now you want to remove each of those things from each of the 3 appliances. Getting these parts out is going to take a little longer than I thought, so why don't you get back to the show and I'll just kind of get them out of here. All right, I finally got the components out of the 3 appliances. Would have been a lot easier if somebody hadn't stolen my screwdriver. Anyway, now I can show you how to assemble these 3 things into your very own home security system. All right, now I'm just using this chest and the lid of it as kind of an example of how you'd rig up a door. I got the pressure-sensitive switch from the fridge down here, hooked into where the door closes, and that wiring goes up through the stove buzzer, which is now wired into our television speaker. So when a burglar comes in, say a door or a window, whatever you got rigged like this, all of a sudden, whoa! You're gonna hear that. That'll wake you up dead, that one. And then you can call 911 or sick your dog on there or go down there and start throwing baseball bats at the guy, whatever you want to do. And that way you get to protect your jewels or your, I guess that's a fridge and a stove, a television set, whatever. So remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy. Man. You know, one of my wife's favorite expressions is, get a grip. At least around me. But you know, when you think of it, tread wear and tire grip aren't just my wife's concerns.
So this week on Handyman Corner, I'm going to show you how you can turn regular all-season deep tread tires into smooth racing slicks using this flamethrower. All right, let's jack up the car and get to those tires. All right, this jack doesn't seem to be working all that well. And even if it was, it only raised the car up a few inches, which is no good to us. We need something that'll raise this unit up to a more workable level. You know, like one of those hydraulic jacks that the mechanics have, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build one of them super duper heavy duty high tilting jacks. And we'll make the racing slicks another day. And at that time, I'll show you how to fix a barbecue. All right, now all we gotta do is just raise the angle on the car there, so your wheels are right at eye level. You don't even have to do any bending. Well, you know, even these small cars are still fairly heavy. All right, that should do it. Man, I'm not heavy enough. Wait till I tell Bernice. All right, now we talked this over, and here I'll come up with a theory that if I want to lift the car, my lever's going to have to be longer. Quite a bit longer. That's where this rope comes in handy. I just pull down on that, and the car goes up. There. Now all I need is something to put on the end of the board to hold her down. Here, boy, come on. You know, it took us a little while and a whole lot of effort to get all these concrete blocks stacked up here, but, you know, Harold's young. He'll be able to stand up straight in a few days, I would think. There we go. That should get her up high enough and be able to get right at those tires. All right, I just have one word for this. Perfect. Because now I can work on all four wheels at once. Rotate the tires, check the brakes, hey? Service the muffler, pick up loose change that fell out of the seats. This is a brilliant system, eh? As long as you don't mind a little warping and rippling in your roof. And I'm sure Buster won't. Remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Let's see them steal this one. Okay, you're probably wondering how something like this could happen. Was I driving too fast? Did the brakes fail? Maybe I forgot I had a freezer on the roof. Is that my fault? I don't think so. I mean, it took 4 guys at Dalton Store to put the freezer up there. There's no way I could take it off by myself. And if the cars these days had a decent-sized trunk, I wouldn't need to put the freezer on the roof in the first place. Oh, no, I'm telling you, this was an accident. But instead of whining or pointing fingers, today on Handyman Corner, I'm going to show you how, with a little work and imagination, you can actually make something out of an accident. That's what my parents did with me. Okay, now I took the garage door tracks and I mounted them freezer width on the roof and then down over the trunk of the car. Now I'm just securing the garage door opener itself to the hood. And don't be afraid to use the long screws on this baby. I mean, you really want to get her attached securely there. Might be a good idea to even open the hood and check that you've got a real good grip there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now all I gotta do is put my freezer into place. I don't need this as a garage door opener anymore. since I no longer have a garage door, now it's my automatic roof rack hoist. If you'll notice, I took the roller hardware off my garage doors and attached it to the four corners of my roof rack box, formerly known as my freezer. Likewise, the garage door handle becomes the cleat for my hoisting mechanism. So all I have to do is get my rollers on track and then give the handle the hook. Okay, let's give her a test run and don't wimp out, you know. Freezers can handle a lot of weight, plus they keep everything fresh. Best before May 12th. Of course, now the beauty here is to get my roof rack up onto the roof. Well, I don't have to lift a finger. I just grab my garage door opener and let nature take its course. See, this was no accident. This was a project. So remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Okay, next week we're going to show you how to make great jigsaw puzzles for your kids. This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to show you what you can do with all that copper pipe and stuff you got leaning up against the house since that time the bathroom blew up when we showed you how to clean ceramic tiles with nitroglycerin. Now, with most of the projects up here at the lodge, the key is never throw anything out, which is also a philosophy that saves a lot of marriages. If you don't happen to have any copper pipe at your place, surely there must be a construction site nearby. And remember, the moon doesn't shine every night. That talk is cheap. Let's build. Step one is you got to take all the pipes apart, get all the fittings off them and so on. So you got to heat them up to do that. And I suggest you use one of these household propane units. Turn her up full, get the flame really going on her there. But I'm going to use the slow way and heat this all up. The idea is you're going to melt all the solder in there and she'll just pop apart on you. And, oh boy. No. Okay, no problem. Harold, call the fire department. Hopefully by the time they get here, it'll be worth coming. All right, so now we just take the pipe. I should say the red hot pipe. And we drop that into water. And by the time that thing hits the water, those joints will just pop right open like sunfish on a tennis racket. Oh, boy. Okay, maybe we should have let that just cool down a tad before we popped it in there. All right, this is going to take a little while, so why don't we just get on with the show, and I'm going to come back a little bit later. I'm going to show you how to make all of this pipe into a really unusual chair. And don't worry, I'll get these. And there we go. Now, she's probably going to leak a little bit, you know, but it's a lawn chair, so it just becomes a lawn chair / sprinkler. Then you hook your garden hose up there to the inlet up in the top corner, and, oh, don't forget your water safety. And then what you do is you use this valve here to bleed all the air out of her. And once she's full of cold water, by golly, you're going to be cool as a cucumber all summer long. Or, you know, if you live next door to a brewery, you could just run the hose into one of them big beer vats of theirs. Ein Prosit. This is living. Yeah, beer will do that to you. Now that we got garbage building up around the lodge faster than it usually builds up around the lodge, thought I'd take this week's Handyman Corner, show you how you can make your very own garbage compactor using the law of the lever, which is not if you don't love her, leave her. Or in Stinky Peterson's case, if you do love her, leave her. Now, I'll tell you something. A lever is kind of like the mail service. You got your first, second, and third class. Sometimes it doesn't get there at all. All right, now this is your first class, okay? And then when you set her up like this, all right, like that, that's your second class. And this, I believe, is a third class lever. And this is a fourth class 2x4. I think I'll leave her. All right, I'm gonna use this ladder as a lever in my garbage compactor to compact this garbage. But to make that all work, I have to cut a slot in the side of this oil drum a little bit wider than the ladder for the ladder to fit into and compress the garbage. And to do that, all I need is just a little hacksaw here. It's that simple. All right, now you might want to have this side of the drum, facing away from the street, because not all that attractive. All right, now you load your garbage up in there and make yourself a real high stack, because you're going to compress this down so thin it'll slide under your neighbor's front door. All right, now what you do is you take your ladder and you stick it on top of the pile and you line it up so the ladder will go right down into the slot. And all you have to do is apply some downward pressure. Harold, is Moose Thompson around? All right, use the next best thing. There's your garbage compressed down to a size that'll fill you with pride every garbage day. So remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy. Okay, so maybe I didn't quite compress it. I more or less just drove it into the ground. This is where we have to revert back to the law of the lever. If you make a mistake, lever. This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to get up close and personal about your plumbing. Or I should say your house's plumbing. The word plumbing actually comes from the ancient Roman word for lead, which was plumb bum, which was actually Harold's nickname for a while. And now, of course, the ancient Romans, they used lead for all their water pipes. They're all dead now. Now, there's two sides to plumbing, really. There's a supply and demand, drainage. Now, the drainage side, you got the big pipes there, and you got holes in the ground, and you got you-know-what, and I'll tell you something. Paying $50 to a professional to handle that is well worth every penny. But now the supply side, that's a different kettle of fish entirely. It's so darned easy, an idiot can do it, and I can prove it. So what you want to start with is copper pipe, not lead, and you can get it any length, but we kind of like the 12-foot lengths, because we get it in the 12-footers, because we get it in the 12 foots because we just find that with the 12 footers, it's just easier to work with. Okay, so once you've got your copper pipe, what you want is to get some fittings so that you can go around joists and beams and maybe pictures or whatever it is that you just don't feel like moving. So you got your various kinds of fittings here. You got your 45-degree elbow. You got your 90-degree, which come in left and right. Of course, they don't mark them, So what I do is I buy them by the box, and they generally work out around 50-50. And then you got this unit here, which I guess would be a 180-degree elbow. And this one, which goes right on the end of the pipe, which is a 360. And then you got your T-joiner for joining two pipes to one. And you got your Y-joiner for any of you who have not yet joined the Y. Little plumbing humor there. All right, once you've got your pipe cut up into the various lengths that you need, you get them all together, and you got to rough up the ends of the pipe so the solder will stick to them. This almost looks like something that Zamfir would play, doesn't it? Anyway, when it comes to roughing up the pipes, there's an easy way to do that using the belt sander. Just like that. Okay, now we can assemble the piping. We take the elbows and fill them up with grease. Not elbow grease, but this other stuff, it's called flux. And you stick it right on there. This is gonna probably take me a little while to put together, so why don't we get on with the show, and when I'm done, we'll come right back. All right, so now you've got your pipe set running from your inlet out to, say, your bathroom or over to your kitchen and up into the laundry room and out into the lawn sprinkler, maybe into your bidet, and then out into the spittoon. And once you've got all your joints set like that, you gotta now make them real solid by using some sort of a soldering device like this soldering torch. Now, I know some people are nervous about using these torches, but the truth is that they're of absolutely no danger at all for using them around the house, as long as you remember to turn them off, you know. I'm gonna put my matches here. I know the professionals use the big 20-pounders, but to be honest with you, oh, here we are. To be honest with you, I don't trust those big propane tanks, you know. I think those darn things could explode on you. All right, now, you might want to have a second propane torch around just as more or less a backup, and then you just heat up the joints until all the flux starts boiling in there, and then just put the solder on there. She'll just melt right in there. Just that easy, really. Harold, do you want to come in here and light this torch? And there we go. She's ready to rip. All right, Harold, turn the water on there. Hold it a minute. There, that's got her that time. We got her, Harold. Let her rip. Let her go. Hold on. You have to turn it on so hard, Harold. All right, that looks better. We got her. All right, Harold, turn her on gently. Perfect. And that's all there is to it. So until next time, remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Try turning the water on here. Oh boy.